this video, I'll be discussing the top 10 best practices for using Terraform to manage your infrastructure as code. Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool that allows you to manage your infrastructure resources using a declarative language. With Terraform, you can define your infrastructure as code, version control it, and apply changes to your infrastructure in a predictable and repeatable way. So let's get started with the top 10 best practices for using Terraform. First, use modules to break infrastructure code into reusable components. Breaking down infrastructure code into smaller reusable modules is a fundamental best practice in Terraform. Modules make it easier to manage and update your code by allowing you to define common infrastructure resources that can be reused across different environments. For example, you might create a module for a VPC in AWS that defines all the necessary resources like subnets, security groups, and routing tables. This module can then be reused across different environments, such as development, staging, and production, by passing in variables that customize the module for each environment. By separating infrastructure code into smaller and more manageable components, you can also ensure that your code is easier to test and maintain. Moving on to number 2, use version control to track changes and collaborate with team members. Using version control with a tool like Git allows you to keep track of changes to your Terraform code and collaborate with your team members. By keeping a history of changes, you can easily revert back to previous versions of your infrastructure code if something goes wrong. Version control also makes it easier to collaborate with team members by allowing them to clone your repository, make changes, and submit pull requests for review. Number 3, use variables to make your code flexible and reusable. Variables allow you to define reusable parameters that can be used across different modules and configurations. This makes your code more flexible and easier to reuse. Using variables in Terraform code allows you to define parameters that can be customized for different environments. Variables make it easier to reuse code and reduce redundancy by allowing you to define values once and use them in multiple places throughout the code. Variables can also help you avoid hard coding values in your code, which can be difficult to maintain and update over time. Number 4, use remote state to store Terraform state in a shared location. Using a remote state allows you to store your Terraform state in a shared location, making it easier to collaborate with team members and avoid conflicts. Storing Terraform state in a centralized location such as AWS S3 makes it easier to manage and share the state of your infrastructure. By using remote state, you can ensure that all team members have access to the same state, which makes it easier to collaborate and maintain consistency across different environments. Number 5, use Terraform Cloud to manage Terraform state, collaborate with team members, and automate deployments. Terraform Cloud is a managed service that provides a centralized place for storing state, managing team access, and automating deployments. Terraform Cloud simplifies the process of managing infrastructure by providing a single place to manage state, access, and deploy changes. Number 6, use linters to ensure Terraform code follows best practices. Linting tools like Terraform Format and Terraform Validate help you to ensure that your Terraform code follows best practices, easy to understand and maintain. Linting tools can also help you catch common errors and enforce coding standards that make your code easier to understand and maintain. Number 7, using version provider dependencies to ensure consistent provider usage. Using version provider dependencies ensures that your Terraform code always uses the same version of a provider. By specifying the version of a provider, you can avoid issues that may arise from updates to the provider that may not be compatible with your code. Number 8, use Terraform workspaces to manage multiple environments. Terraform workspaces allow you to manage multiple environments such as development, staging, and production from a single Terraform configuration. This helps you to keep your infrastructure code organized and maintainable. Using workspaces can help you avoid having to maintain separate code bases for different environments. which can be difficult to manage and update over time. Use Terraform Apply with caution and test. Use the Terraform Plan command to preview changes before applying them. The Terraform Plan command shows you a preview of the changes that will be made to your infrastructure before applying them. This helps you to avoid unexpected changes and plan for any necessary resources. Testing your Terraform changes in a non-production environment first helps you catch errors and avoid issues when applying your code in production. Always use caution when applying changes to production infrastructure, and make sure to test changes in a non-production environment first to minimize the risk of issues. Use Terraform Destroy to delete infrastructure resources. Using Terraform Destroy to delete infrastructure resources when they are no longer needed can help you avoid incurring unnecessary costs. Always clean up resources when they are no longer needed to avoid incurring charges for unused resources. Thanks for watching.